What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to do a little bit of a sun and moon update, but there are also a couple boxes I want to bring to your guys' attention because we have seen all-time high sales on them on TCG Player. Also, this is the first video I'm recording with my new microphone, so you guys let me know if it sounds decent. I did some tests last night. It didn't sound great to me, and one of the large issues I'm having is my computer. It's a laptop, it's quite beefy, so the fans are always going. And even when I put it on like the silent profile, there's still a lot of fan noise. So I think in the future, if I want to have the best audio possible, I'm going to eventually have to just buy like a monitor and then run a cable and then move my laptop somewhere else just to make the environment a little bit quieter. But hopefully in post-production, I can get like most of that out and it sounds decent. But any sound engineers in the comments down below, definitely feel free to let me know what you think. So getting into this video, Silver Tempest booster box. This is getting very close to $500 now. The most recent sale on TCG Player's $495, and that was from yesterday. I don't really want to say too much more on Silver Tempest just because tomorrow is Wednesday. We're going to be doing an in-depth Sword and Shield update, so we'll talk about this tomorrow, but I wouldn't be surprised if Silver Tempest pushes $500 here fairly quickly. Now after that, another box that could probably break into the 500 soon. Paldea Evolved, $450 on TCG Player. The most recent sale from today. 2 boxes sold at $490 USD. We still have some sales around 400. 3 boxes sold yesterday. Some at 435, 450. It's a little bit all over the place, but it is trending upwards still. And then also Destined Rivals. Most recent sale on this box, $370. A couple sold today and yesterday. So those are boxes that are moving up. Again, we'll talk a little bit more about Silver Tempest tomorrow, and then you guys are going to have to wait until next Monday to get the next Scarlet and Violet era booster box update. So moving in to Sun and Moon era, not super exciting. There were some boxes up this week that I want to talk about, but a lot of them were also trending downwards a little bit. Most of them, honestly, it wasn't by much. It was only a couple percentage points. A couple boxes, maybe it was closer to like 10, 15% in terms of average sale price. Also, for pretty much every single box, there were more listings available this week, below a 20% leg up from the lowest listed. And then also, sales volume on pretty much every single box, I believe, was down over the past couple weeks, which makes sense. People are probably taking some profits. These boxes were hitting crazy all-time highs. So it makes sense in my opinion. Now, there were still a couple sets moving up. Sun and Moon Base obviously wasn't one of those. Guardians Rising, I don't think so either. Maybe it was up like $5 in terms of average sale price. Burning Shadows was down a couple dollars. Crimson Invasion was actually down a decent amount. I think probably like 10%. Actually, when I think about Burning Shadows, it was probably close to 10% too. So maybe I misspoke there, but both of those were down a little bit. Ultra Prism, I think it was up a little bit this month, but again, like these boxes, there's not a ton of sales, so it's not like we can make super definitive claims based on what happens, because honestly, the next sale that comes up could be going in the completely opposite direction. So we have to wait and see long term, but every couple weeks, there's generally 1 or 2 boxes that move. Forbidden Light, same sort of situation. Celestial Storm, I think there was one sale, and this box was up to around $2,800. I think it was $2,788. That one auction went for. A lot of these boxes are also going on auction through Probstein. I think probably the majority of the total sales are going through their service. So I think that's something interesting to point out. Kind of makes sense. I mean, their rates are great. So if you have a box that's $2, $3, $4, $5,000 plus, it makes sense for 99 out of 100 people just to be sending their boxes off to a consignment service who deals with the shipping, the selling, the marketing, and you get more percentage than you would selling it yourself on eBay. So that's something to note. Lost Thunder, again, it's kind of like a lot of these boxes from the middle of the Sun and Moon era, not doing anything crazy. Now, Team Up, this is where things get a little bit interesting. I'm sure a lot of you guys are curious. I think the average sale price on Team Up was down to around $9,100, $90, $85, or something in that range. And we also had a couple boxes, I think, selling in like the $87, $8,800 range, so even below 9 grand, but it averaged out. I think that's something just worth noting. Again, it makes sense. Team Up went on a huge run. People are taking profits now. There are more boxes still out there. So I wouldn't be surprised if Sun and Moon, a lot of these boxes, do start to go sideways or even retrace a little bit over the next few months. Now, a couple boxes that were up, Unbroken Bonds and Unified Minds. Again, this makes sense to me. I said for the longest time Unified Minds was undervalued. Unbroken Bonds, I think, is kind of in the same situation. These were boxes that were just underappreciated and kind of sandwiched in between Team Up and Cosmic Eclipse. And if you guys are curious, I think average sale price on Unbroken Bonds was fairly close to 2,500. I think Unified Minds is getting close to 3 grand or was exactly at $3,000. Again, that's only based on a handful of sales, but it is moving up. Cosmic Eclipse, this box was actually down slightly from the last update, which actually speaks volumes because the last update we did, there were a couple fairly low sales kind of on like the tail end before it moved up, if that makes sense. So I would expect this box to kind of stay in this 4,000, 4,500-ish range for a while. Now, the ETBs, Dragon Majesty, Shining Legends, I think Shining Legends was up, Dragon Majesty was down. Again, there's not a ton of listings out there, not a ton of inventory. These are fairly scarce items compared to a lot of the boxes we have in the Sword and Shield era and in the Scarlet and Violet era, excuse me. But if one of these boxes were going to continue moving, it would probably be Shining Legends, in my opinion. Just having that Mewtwo GX in there, I think it is the more popular set. But again, that's just my opinion. And that's pretty much going to be a wrap on this update. The Sun and Moon updates really aren't super interesting right now, so there isn't much for me to talk about. But tomorrow, the Sword and Shield update, I think that's going to be fairly interesting. We'll go in depth. There's going to be lots of sales data there. And my guess would be that a couple of those boxes are going to continue to have very low days of inventory and still be on the cusp of moving up. I think we saw like on TCG Player a 2850 sale on Evolving Skies. So it's getting very close to fairly consistent $3,000 sales on all of these platforms. So if you guys got some value out of this, I'd really appreciate if you leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. And again, if any of you sound engineers out there have input, or anyone just listening, right, about the microphone and the setup, let me know in the comments down below. With all that said, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Stay safe wherever you are in the world, and I'll catch you in the next one.